Good morning, Warriors! Back with another episode of Vigor Warriors 2 and the 1% Club. Hope you guys are doing well this morning. Hope things are going well. Hope that you guys are on your task. I got my sun in my eyes before I get out of the sun here. And hope things are battling on every day. So today we're going to talk about a comment. I'm trying to get to a lot of these one by one as I can, but we're going to talk about a nice comment from Aaron, who is talking about how he looks different and better on semen retention. So we're going to talk about that a little bit and how it affects how it affects you and your person and all that kind of stuff and all the things around you as well. I know King Uche talked about one with business success, and I'll bring some of that into this discussion as well. But I think I'll probably keep that one for a separate one as well, because that's something that probably needs a whole video on itself. So, all right, so let's talk a little bit about Aaron's comment here, talking about that he likes the way he looks on semen retention. Now, I have found the same thing, Aaron, so I agree with you 100%. I think that as time has gone on, the more you're retaining, the more you like your appearance. Now, along with that, you're doing things obviously to make yourself better, because now you're motivated. I think retention, one of the things, and I'm nearing 800 and 800 and I think 90 days or something like that now, almost 900 days. And by the way, thank you for subscriptions, comments, likes. I think we're near 800 subscriptions, so that's wonderful. I feel very, very, very blessed about that. So thank you guys for helping out on the channel and those type of things. But when I discuss retention, one of the things that I always talk about is the fact that retention gives you a foundation for self-discipline. It allows you to recognize, I can do this. I can have some self-control. And we've talked about this on many types of issues on the channel. And the fact of the matter is that you have to be able to control things. You can't always control things around you, but you have to control things within yourself as much as possible. And one of those things is how you react and how you actually kind of behave with these temptations. Now, the result of that, as Aaron's talking about, is if you continue to hold on to your seed and you're able to transmute it through the rest of your body, that energy is staying there. And because it's staying there, that means all the benefits that your body is going to get is going to go with that. Now, along with the discipline about retention, now you're doing other things like working out and doing a little lifting and doing some walking. You're also, in my case, drinking water, which helps a lot as well. It makes your skin clear, gives you a lot more circulation, different things like that. And as I get older, I appreciate that more. You're also kind of looking better for yourself, trying to make yourself better, because you get that motivation. It's almost like kind of re-energizing your system. And that's probably a good way to kind of put this, that it's almost like you have a dead battery when you're releasing energy all the time. You have a dead battery, and now you recharged it. And the car starts, and the generator is working on the car, and all of a sudden, now the battery is being regenerated. It's getting to the point where it's getting back to normal, and you're getting all kinds of power back. And that's the kind of thing that's important to recognize, that you're getting your power. And that power is making you feel and look better. It doesn't really matter what age you're at. And with all the fountain of youth stuff, it hits certain points of your body, like the chakras, that make your body stronger than it would be if you didn't do that. I think what happens to a lot of people is it's more of the inactivity that hurts them than anything else. And a lot of people, as they get older, they worry about being old, and so they're in that mentality, well, I'm not going to do anything because I'm old. I'm afraid of being hurt, if I'm older. Well, I think that's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because I've seen people who continue to work hard through their 80s and 90s and weightlifting at the Y or walking or doing things, and they just keep going. And certainly, I think, obviously at some point age makes a factor, but you don't have to let it get into your life that early. And you have to be able to kind of maneuver that. So looking good is something you'll continue doing, for a long time, as long as you recognize how important retention is. And I think as far as King Uche is talking about, the business aspect is even more important. I mean, guys, when we look at this, you're looking at a full charge battery. And the battery is full charge. It can perform lots of things on your car. It keeps your radio going. It keeps, your all your electrical systems going, except for some cars that I've had in the past. Electrical systems go bad on some cars, but most of the time, the battery's functioning everything. Your clock, everything you're running in your car, that's full electricity, and it's got to keep the battery in the car running as well. So the battery serves a lot of purposes, and the same thing for us. We're using semen retention to make us superpowered. And when we're superpowered, that affects us in all aspects of our life. And so this is why in business, you can succeed a great deal, because you're basically using your energy, and you're also attracting people. And so this goes back to Aaron's comment as well on how he looks, right? I look good on semen retention. And the bottom line is you are attractive. There's a glow or something around you. Yesterday, again, I'm just totally amazed when this happens, but you got tons of people just wanting to be near you or touch you or come up to you, and all of a sudden it's just amazing to me. And still, after all this time, maybe because it didn't happen to me so many times when I was younger, and it was just kind of a lack, and I couldn't figure out why necessarily. And now I regret not doing this many years ago, of course. But the thing is that it's a very flattering thing now when you got all these people, and especially people who normally would not even come up to you and do that in a more traditional type of sense, really kind of almost like they can't get enough of you, and they just want to kind of be near you and touch you and those kind of things. It is amazing, and it's still an incredible type of thing that I'm seeing, and how different it was all those years compared to this that's happening now. So the way you look is just a representation of your energy that's being used within you. And so as you use this energy, as you're focusing on keeping your nutrients and your vitamins, all these things within yourself, you are keeping your superpower energy going. And your battery is at full charge. And now what's happening is that people are noticing it. And so you're not the only one that notices that you're attractive. All of a sudden, other people do that. And by attraction, I'm really talking more about social attraction. I think people, can look at you physically and say you're attractive, but what they're really connected with is your energy. They see that light, that aura. And as some people have mentioned, they're seeing God in you. Well, that's very possible. But they're seeing something in you that they're highly attracted to. I can't tell you a number of times yesterday people, hugging me, touching my arms and different things like that. And it's just a very unusual type of situation that I'm just not very used to. And so this is something that is very flattering, but it's very strange to me. And I think the thing is that you have to kind of realize what the power of this retention is. Now, of course, as I always talk about, you have to act in very ethical ways, and you have to be, a person of high principle, high class, and high values, high morals through God. And so you don't take advantage of those situations, of course. But the idea is still that it's a very interesting and kind of it's unusual situation. Because if you would have known this, many years ago, you might have had a whole different type of reaction to it. And maybe it was better that I did not know this until later on, because I probably couldn't handle it better. And being married all those years, who knows what would have happened, if I had known this many years ago. So it's probably, God has probably given me, with all the energy and things that He's blessed me with, He's probably given me the right path to understand these principles now. But guys, you have a superpower, and you got to learn how to control it. or else you're going to find yourself going down the wrong path and losing that energy, and all of a sudden your battery is dead. And this is what happens a lot. But the looks are a tremendous aspect of the reaction of how you are inside. I always feel that when people look well, that's because something's happening inside of them that is a good thing. And what happens a lot of times with people, and I know that I was not very attractive at all in high school and college and things like that. What I usually see is people who are beautiful when they're younger, if they don't develop the inside of their relationship with God and other people and how they feel about themselves, you'll notice that they age very quickly. And on the other hand, sometimes people who maybe start off not with the greatest of looks, as they develop the inside and they develop the retention, they develop the relationship with God and being closer to God each day, then they become a lot more beautiful from on the outside, because their inside is beautiful. And I think this is what the key really is. I think if you have a warrior who has a real strong relationship with God, is somebody who and you could call it beautiful, there's a lot of words you can use, but who is really kind of stout and strong and very vigorous with inside themselves, you're going to see the same type personality outside, and it's eventually going to show on the outside. And once again, the energy level and the way you are, this is what attracts people. And especially when it comes to men, this is what attracts women to men. It's really the energy level that they're looking at. And this is why you become all of a sudden so attractive. And they couldn't even probably tell you why a lot of times. You get touches on the arm, you get hugs, you get people just looking at you in a certain way. And, obviously it is could be a huge temptation. At my point, because I'm in this within almost 900 days, it's a little different reaction. I think we've had many people talk about this on the comments and everything. As time goes on, you recognize that all of that is kind of silly. I guess I could put it that way. Silly in a way of why do I throw myself out like that for a few minutes of pleasure when it doesn't really solve any kind of goals or things that you're looking at in the long run. And I think that's kind of the key to the whole situation. Why am I really doing this? Why is it something that is important to me to do, and why do I continue this? So I think as time goes on, you recognize that you have to really be able to focus on long-term goals and why things are important. And I think as time goes on, you recognize that some of these things you're doing are just not that important. And I think this is one of those type of things that after almost 890 some days, I've realized that it's nice and flattering, but it's not really worth my time and effort to even think about it. And this is why monk mode is something that's really important to me. And that's why staying on monk mode is really the key to me kind of overcoming a lot of this, to be able to be strong enough to say, okay, I see the temptation, but it's not something that's going to stop me or prevent me from achieving my goals and becoming the best person I can become. Now, if you're a younger guy, and we have a lot of younger viewers, I think, in the age group of 25 to 34, and you guys are looking for a young, a young girl, or you're looking for a partner or someone to marry, or someone who is in that age group of 25, 34, and you're trying to develop a relationship, this information is very crucial and important, because you know then how to attract females, because you know that it works. I mean, you just have to try it, and you'll notice that within weeks, all of a sudden people look at you totally differently when you hold in your seed and you hold in your information. And so if you're looking for someone, I'm talking to the young males here, if you're looking for a young female at this point, and you guys are looking at people who are going to be potential partners and things like that, it's important to recognize that this does help, and this works, and this allows you to be able to kind of move on to something else and say, okay, this is a good relationship. This is something that's going to be helping me. Okay. Now, when it comes down to it, when you look at this, it's important to recognize, however, that you have to make the right choices. So having that level of discipline now and having that level of self-control, now you can say, okay, what is it about this woman, this young woman that I'm trying to get to know? What is it about the woman that I like besides the physical aspect of things? And this is the key, because guys, there's a lot of good-looking men and women out there. A lot of, as I said, a lot of it goes in from the outside in when you're younger. When you're older, you go from the inside out. And I think that's a different type perspective. But as you look at trying to find someone to partner with or to be with, and I recommend one person, this is always the recommendation I've made, I think it's kind of wasting your time and energy to try to focus on several people and have multiple affairs, and just because it kind of builds your ego up a little bit. That just, and I know I've been there, so that kind of that's kind of wasteful energy and not really achieving things you need to achieve, for at least for God's purpose. So I think finding one person is the key. Now, to find that person, you have to have ideas about what you're looking for, and to be able to, really be strong and understand that this is important to have values, ideas, and things that are similar, so that I have someone that I can be a companion with and share things with and work with and those type of things. So this is a lot different than just having intercourse and just having sex every so often that you want to have. Now, if you're able to control, yourself, if you're able to control, everything about you and your urges and all those type of things, then you're able to figure out, okay, I can find this person. But remember, attraction is more than just what you look like. And what I'm saying is, what goes back to Aaron's saying, is that don't be fooled by people just because they look good, especially if you're looking for a person or a partner or someone to be with. Really kind of examine who they are, and you're able to see better. Your glasses are better when it comes to this, because you're now and not just focusing on the physical, you're focusing on everything else. And in order to do that, you have to have the retention. So you will draw lots of people to you because you do look good. You look attractive, but the reason you look attractive is because the inside is being cleaned up, and the inside is becoming attractive. And the inside becomes attractive, then the outside becomes attractive. And that's something people cannot deny. That energy you have when that happens is just, superpower energy. And that's something people can notice right away. So anyway, Aaron, a great comment. I appreciate your observation there. I think you do look better when it comes to semen retention. I think we should all continue to work on getting better and better with this. And it's a battle every day, because certainly what comes with that is a lot of attention, especially from females. And you just have to recognize that they are seeing in you the energy of a real man that they probably don't see 90% of the day. This is why they notice it. And I saw two people staring yesterday as well, and they finally said hi, because I kind of looked at them and I had to break the stare. But the thing is, they notice it because they don't see it very often, because there's so many people who are releasing energy and not transmuting it and not doing anything, and basically becoming just kind of like a dead battery out there. And no one wants a dead battery. And so I think women are tired of these dead batteries running around, and there's something to be said about it. And I think they're correct about that. They want a masculine figure, and that's something they deserve to have as well. And they need someone who has that ability to use their energy in a way to do things like protect and to provide and things like that. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go today. Hope you guys have a great Thursday. Take care of you guys, my friends. Take care. Warrior signing off. And remember, every day is a new day to a wise warrior. God bless you guys, and battle on.